Close to the borders of the Terran Planetary Union, two military vessels hovered together for the exchange of an important passenger. Captain Karash, her calculating eyes fixed on the cold metal doors of the airlock, shifted her weight from one muscular leg to the other, her impatience evident. The stark corridor of her ship was empty, save for her. She felt it might overwhelm the Terran ambassador if too many officers and crew members were present to welcome him aboard. Why do I have to be the one to babysit some pompous Terran brat? Curse the High Council for shoving this responsibility onto me instead of a bureaucrat. Irritation swelled within her as she struggled to understand the Council's decision to order her, a naval commander, to abandon previous orders and instead assist in the safe transport of the ambassador for trade talks on the politically neutral planet of Quaitair. She had her theories, but no concrete explanations. Although she took pride in her military skills, even she knew her gruff, off-putting demeanor, typical of her species, was not suited for this political mission. At least I hope I don't offend him by breaking some bizarre human custom. I'm getting too old for this. Karash knew a few things about humans, mostly gossip and general information shared throughout the galaxy. They were mammalian and bipedal, much like our own species, but shorter on average compared to other races. Their capital planet was called Terra. That was about it. A mere drop in the bucket compared to the vast biological data on other species inhabiting the galaxy. In fact, not even a hologram of their appearance existed. This lack of information stemmed from their cautious and reclusive nature. They refused to engage in trade or tourism agreements with the rest of the galaxy. The captain could imagine the genuine surprise of the council leaders when they received an official meeting request from the Terrans, hoping to sign trade agreements, perhaps even tourism, should all go smoothly. They must think they're too good to mingle with the rest of the galaxy. Pompous bastards. Just a single ambassador, alone and without bodyguards. Was it a gesture of trust or simply naive confidence in their own physical strength? Hiss. Karash's musings were interrupted by the loud hissing of the airlock doors. She straightened her posture, fussing with her black and red uniform. Well, let's see what monstrosity awaits us. The sharply clean metal door slowly opened, revealing the visage of the human on the other side. He stared back at an increasingly stunned Karash with two curious hazel eyes, which took in her appearance as she did his. She quickly noted how she towered over the Terran. Not that it was unusual for her species, known to be one of the tallest in the galaxy, averaging over 6'4" in height. The human was cloaked in a long, rich black cape that concealed an expensive-looking ruffled shirt and trousers that ended above his brown boots, the very visage of nobility, if Karash ever saw one. Does Terra even have a nobility? Should she bow? He took deliberate, slow steps toward her, while she remained planted in place, absorbing his details more thoroughly. His skin lacked the covering of heavy fur, except for a long, lustrous mane of blonde hair cascading down to his waist. Karash was captivated by the many strange yet alluring features on his face, so much so that she barely noticed when he stopped a short distance in front of her and extended a hand in the customary human greeting, still looking at her with curiosity. Clearing his throat to gain her attention, he said, "It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance, Captain." What? Oh, yes, the ambassador. Karash quickly moved her hand to meet his, recalling the instructions she had received. Karash, welcome aboard. I hope the accommodations are to your liking, Ambassador. A small trace of nervousness crept into her gruff voice, making it waver slightly. Get a grip, you old hag. You're a veteran. Curse the stars, why are his hands so soft, like besmirched cloth? He chuckled, closing his eyes slightly. Morgan Hawthorne. Thank you, but there's no need to fret about accommodations, Captain. I'm sure they are lovely, just like this vessel. He playfully slapped the corridor wall. Karash's large tail swished behind her, a sign of happiness for her species, but it stopped abruptly as she noticed it, growing increasingly angry at herself. Are you some kind of pet, Karash? Will you ask him to pet your head too? Get a hold of yourself, Captain, and stop bringing shame to your clan. I see. That's good to hear. Now that we are acquainted, I had planned to show you the important areas of the vessel, one by one, to help you acclimate to the layout. Is that acceptable, Ambassador Hawthorne? It sure is, Captain. I would love to stretch my legs a little bit, Morgan replied warmly. Let's get to it then. As soon as Karash finished her sentence and prepared to march on, Morgan chuckled lightly, catching her attention once more. Does the captain wish to hold my hand during the tour? Morgan inquired, his voice tinged with playfulness as he locked eyes with her. What? What are you talking about? She asked, puzzled by his question. Well, I thought that was your intention, Captain, because you seem to still be holding it. He pointed at her hand, still clasping his. He then smirked, wiggling his eyebrows playfully. Shit, was all she could manage, as her hand jerked back as if his hand had been on fire. I am sorry, Ambassador Hawthorne. I forgot entirely. She could feel her eyes shifting to a more vibrant blue, signaling her growing flusteredness. May my tail wither and fall. What have I done? I've embarrassed myself before the ambassador. Shit. What do I have to do with niceties and politics? Curse this damn good-looking human. It must be some cunning tactic by the Terrans to send this specimen. Indeed. Before Karash could drown herself in her thoughts, Morgan chuckled lightly, assessing the captain's emotional state. There's no need to feel dejected, Captain Karash. No harm done. Why don't we proceed with the tour? I'd love to meet the rest of the officers and crew. To be honest, I hope the first stop is the cafeteria, he added, patting his stomach for emphasis. Because I'm hungry as hell. Well, Karash's tough exterior began to crack as she observed Morgan standing there sheepishly. I've got to feed this fragile, cute human. It's my mission now, and no one will stand in my way. By the galaxy, I know I would carry him if he asked. Wait, what is happening? Why would she care about this stranger? Perhaps the Terrans exuded pheromones that altered the behavior of those around them, allowing them to subdue their prey. Not an uncommon concept. Many species could achieve a similar effect. Maybe a visit to the medical bay for an examination was in order, but she quickly dismissed that thought. It would be disrespectful and jeopardize the mission, yet it was a notion to hold on to. Before overthinking could take control again, Karash turned her back on Morgan, facing deeper into the vessel's corridor, which branched out to various areas. Then please follow me. We will start with the cafeteria, as you wish. It is not too far away. Stay close. It's easy to get lost in these corridors if you don't pay attention. Even while focusing on navigating the corridors, she could hear the ambassador's hurried footsteps beside her. What a cute species I found myself dealing with. Perhaps they're not so bad after all.